Hi.
Glad to be here.
Y'all want to play some DND?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell,
Ready
hell,
for D.
yeah.
Other D.
The double D. Anywho. Well, we got to play in person, so that was fun. So for all of you that weren't in my living room, how about a recap?
Oh no.
I love recaps.
Recaps are great.
Yeah.
Well, I think for the severity of this recap, I'm going to let you guys do it because everyone has their
boy.
own emotions.
Yep.
That's not fair to me.
Maybe we can like popcorn this.
Who wants to share their disappointment first?
Horrific. Well, I think it should be the Lady of Honor, of course. The woman who just walked into her ancestral homeland and saw its majesty and grace.
So we found Zay Farrell.
Yeah, but what did you imagine it to be? Before you get to what it is, what did you imagine it to be?
I thought it was gonna be like this beautiful citadel, with like a city, like an actual city with high buildings, and then like high walls erected outside the building, like a giant barrier, and that there were gonna be guards with us. People were gonna have to be like, "Gosh, who is that? Don't let them in." I thought it was gonna be a whole thing. I was ready for this.
Yeah, I had this whole thing in my mind too, like just like that, Rose. Oh my
Big,
goodness.
big circular city, high as fuck walls, a giant gate, a bunch of tieflings coming out with like riders. They'd be like, "Hey, who the fuck are you? Who goes there? How'd you even find this
Yeah,
place?"
exactly. Yeah, like they're
Yes.
not fucking around with how secretive they were about Zay Farrell. That's what I expected. Man.
Boy, girly, it was not what we expected.
Yeah.
And then, as you all may remember, I continued to believe that it was illusion magic up until the point that it became clear it was not.
We stumbled
Yeah.
onto tents. Tents.
Tent City, baby.
I guess you can kind of call it a caravan, but they travel. My people are gypsies. They live in tents.
They are, and now I question: Does the rest, does the rest of Zelenkov feel about the tieflings the way that the modern world feels about the gypsies?
It's a valid question. Because what the fuck, man?
Look, all I
Yeah.
know is Sonny made me go real fast, and I attacked things that were larger than me that looked similar.
Oh yeah, we fought those rock monster things.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the rock trolls. That was a fun
Mm.
fight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I may have taken too many mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe you're talking about 7
Nope. It
anymore.
carried over.
Yeah, I mean, that evening,
We're
the
having a
lines
good
did start
time.
to blur.
Yeah.
Am I 7? Is my character Manny?
It always has been. There is no separation of character and player. 7 just is Manny.
You have
Yeah.
mentioned that from the start.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have been called 7 in person by
Yep.
accident.
Sorry.
We weren't even playing the game.
Yep. So then we went to the bar to try to get some information, and basically found out that they move around all the time, which makes more sense as to why the location is secret. But we won't really find out anything more until we take the magical contract of some kind.
Yeah, we have to meet the elders. Ooh.
I
Oh,
was
and let's
not
not
at the
forget the most
bar.
important part, Zaishori.
Yeah.
Hmm. This lady Ita took me away with the other tieflings. Um, and she tested my blood. I had to persuade her to test my blood within the room because she wanted to leave the room to test my blood. In a world of blood contracts, I was not gonna let that happen. So she did a blood ritual to figure out what lineage of tieflings I came from, like which bloodlines. It turns out she did not recognize my color, the color that I turned into. So my lineage as of right now is unknown.
Do you remember? So you said her name was Ita. How's that spelled? The Elder. Do you know, Rochi?
Ida. EDA.
Oh, Ida.
Oh,
Ida.
Ida.
Yes.
Got it.
With a D.
See, I was the only one who assumed it was some weird ass shit.
That's fair.
Ida with the D.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ida.
Came out like some sort of like it came out pinkish, right? Blood burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. So yeah. That about sums it up. We are in Zayfarel. We're in a bar tent food place. You bought a couple rounds. You had a chance to talk to some of the locals. Saishuri, you finished talking with Ida, made your way to the bar area. Currently, the only ones not here. Breath and Lyle made their way to a tent not far from where you currently are, thanks to Tinkers going invisible and flying overhead to realize how far away. Can't go far in a tiny tent town, apparently. But they went to go visit at least their headquarters, where they assumed Elvira would be, or hope she's back. As you entered the small tent, Sunny, Nikolai, Babby, and I'm going to butcher myself now. Aquilid made your way inside. Simon kind of tapped you on the shoulders as you were entering and just kind of let you know that he was going to take a lap. And as Simon does, disappeared into the shadows. We pick back up. Saishuri, you've rejoined the party. You found them here in this little tent. Norman and Tefet are still with Ida. They are finishing up their kind of conversations with her and getting their blood tested. But we will pick back up here in Zayfarel. Welcome. You've made it. What would you like to do?
Go home.
Burn it down. Burn it all down. No. Well, I want to go home. That's for one. This is a disappointment.
Well, I would like to. I mean, so wait, Zaishori came out and told us the whole deal with the blood, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
Where did we cut off last time? You still in the bar?
You're in the bar. Zaishori had just caught back up with you and gave you a rundown of what happened. So you're kind of just figuring out what your next plans were, and gonna go from there.
Zaishori, did they say how long they're going to make us wait?
They did not.
Right. Well, we could keep drinking in the meantime. And I'll just kind of lean in and say, I tried questioning one of the people here, but it doesn't seem that there's much they're willing to tell, even the drunkest, without some form of contract.
Yeah, everyone's really tight-lipped from what I heard. Apparently, you guys can also sign whatever contract the elders want us to sign to know the information. What information? I don't know, but apparently there's information.
Is there any possibility that a portion of this town is affected by powerful illusion magic? Maybe not the part that we're in right now, but a part.
Maybe after we sign the contract, something might change.
That's a good idea.
Seems highly unlikely. I haven't gotten any strong senses of magic since we've been here. Like, at all. Like, it's not magic anywhere.
Do not say something that horrific to me. Why are you saying that?
I mean, you know what? But I'm always helping.
Ooh, wait, are you saying
do
you
you-
don't
what do
feel
you-
any ley lines?
I mean, I don't even know shit about ley lines. I just don't feel any like magical presence or like, I did a quick detect magic when we got here because that's kind of what I do whenever I get to a town.
Mhm. Maybe it's so powerful, even Babby can't identify it. Stop it.
Well, there are some practical limits on that. I just kind of lean into Babby. I know this place is small, but it's not, 60 feet wide. Maybe they're hiding their magical prowess.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Wink.
Please don't stop him. Don't stomp on my hopes.
Did he say wink or did he wink?
He did both, Ravi.
He said wink.
uh,
I rolled a 3.
right,
Yeah.
right. Uh, Zaishori, I think I- if let me ask you, seeing what you're seeing, if you get this lineage, if not, I mean, what is your intention here? Do you want to stay here for some time? Do you wish to help them? I mean, we've already heard that, it sounds like some of the tieflings here have come and gone, so they don't force anyone to remain within town.
I don't want to stay here too long, honestly. This was never meant to be like a lengthy trip.
Mm.
I mean, it's a lengthy trip, but a lengthy stay. But I do intend to spend at least a little bit of time here so we can talk to the elders and figure out the point of the pilgrimage and why is it so unsafe and why is nothing being done about that. Well, not
I would
nothing, but not enough being done.
No, not certainly not enough. Um, well, we'll let you lead that discussion. I still stick to what I said before. I believe it'll be better coming from you than us, but I'm here for you, however I can be.
Thank you, Ravi. Like, there has to be something safer. Surely, like, large walls in a city would be safer than tents.
Maybe, I mean, given how much they've been hunted, this may be simply all they can muster.
Maybe I'll talk to the Warsanox. These people need to be sponsored.
How does your family feel about tieflings? Best of Valir. I leave this direction.
Roche, how much do I know? My
Well, we
father
know how
has
your
dealt with
your
them.
sister feels.
Yeah,
but
I just don't know if my dad has dealt with him before.
I mean, probably not directly. Your dad didn't seem to have much of an issue here. He was kind of more worldly, like he's been around and traveled and did a lot of business deals. Your mom gave Saishori a little bit of a stink eye when she first arrived, which probably, I mean, from what you know, is more probably from a place of just like she's never interacted with tieflings and just goes by
Hmm.
what she knows and has heard through, you know, the upper crust of society that she's been in. So,
Right.
and also give her some credit, like given what she knows about her. I don't know. I'm sorry. That was before she found out all the news about
Yeah.
Valir's dad, right?
Her
Never mind.
husband fucked a spider.
Man,
Um.
One way to put it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, no, it shouldn't be an issue. My father's a businessman. As long as you bring good business, good manners, that's all he cares about. Any ethnicity, nationality, whatever you come from, well, clearly he doesn't care considering. Well, you saw the Spider Queen. I'm sure he's not one to judge about anybody.
I guess I should have thought about that.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Yes, I because I think at least from a monetary perspective, it would probably take more than what we're capable of to get this town what it needs.
Right.
But now knowing what we see about Zepharel and the lack of magical protections I was expecting here, I think we need to inform their elders of what exactly Zane is, the person that's hunting them, and let them know that he might be on his way here. They must know that Briol is still with him, if they don't already. I've given it a bit after we've gotten to the city, but we are still potentially being followed.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea to get in the heads up. I mean, if we were struggling, and Katori was also struggling versus Saul, I don't know about you. I didn't sense anybody around here that's even capable of fighting like that.
Oh, and speaking of which, and I will simply raise the glass to Katori, Ferdinand, Clay.
Yukatori.
To Katori.
Ori.
Tori.
So after the waste,
Also, Suji speaks out for a second. He's like, it might be my suspicion of, just everything going wrong for us ever. But don't you feel it kind of weird that, the waitress, the one who gave the barmaid, didn't really seem to even care about horn hunters, that it's like never really affected her whole life? You would think this would be like the jackpot, wouldn't you? And just find this place, like kind of like a lost city or something, all the treasures inside, but in horns. And I obviously say this a little softer.
Well, I suppose up to now, the city has been lucky enough to not be visited personally by the headhunters. Maybe it's simply easier for them to pick off the stragglers along the way. Or maybe the city does have some form of protection that we will not be privy to until we sign that contract.
Yeah, I think luck only gets you so far.
But you are right, Suji. And it is strange. I would have thought that at least at some point, some mercenary would have found this place, and I doubt it's easy to keep a secret in a community of this size. Valet, did you get the bar snacks too? I was just going for the drinks right now, but
Sorry.
there you go.
so after we're done here, are we just dropping Vintet off in Morand?
Seven, we're not throwing him off the airship.
Well, I got the ring. He'll be fine. I'd also like to see the broker so I can take off the frog mantle and then we can give it to Nikolai.
the worst idea. Is that Nikolai's face roasting?
Of course it is. He does not burst into tears.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's
Alright.
good.
There's a twinkle in his eye.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a very important job. And they don't
Yeah,
know
you-
how often I write to the broker.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled to get that transferred over to Nikolai too.
There's very hard at Raphael. Can almost see the forehead lines crease. Seven talks
Sorry,
to him more than
sorry,
anyone
Seven.
else here. Yeah.
What I mean to say is, I'm sure he would appreciate his favorite person, getting to relieve the burden of the ongoing communication. But yes, we should go back to see him at some point.
We stop it by Istrafala. We can finally head out. We need to go to the library.
Selfishly, I'd love to put that at the top of our priority list, but I feel there might be other things that take our attention.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're under a time crunch with the whole Warsanok situation. We have some time, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it will go faster than we imagine.
Thanks to the airship.
So what's the plan? Are we gonna sit here and drink until they contact us, or what?
Did they give us instructions?
Oh.
Otherwise, that seems fine to me.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to do around here?
That's a good question. I might just wander a bit.
I want to check
Um,
out where their military is. Where the heck do you keep an army around here?
Yes.
Yeah, we could do some
Eh.
exploring.
Army, militia.
Militia.
We have 5 minutes to kill to check this whole city out. You know,
Jeez. Oh man.
That's fair.
Damn, Valia. Burn.
I'm just saying there's not wrong with it. Usually, we're just used to spending hours and hours searching the city and find nothing. This is great.
True. I'm sure
You
we'll
guys
be
can
able to
bring your
find
drinks
everything
with
for
you.
Is that allowed?
I guess
It's a
the shopkeeper's
fucking city of
not.
tents.
Barkeep, what are your rules on taking these glasses to go?
All right.
Nice. I knew there was something I liked about this place.
Okay.
Right.
All right. You take your to-go drinks. Road beers.
We got some road beers.
I want a sip cup.
I was gonna say, who's got the sippy cup?
It's obviously 7. He's a child.
Without a mouth.
Yeah.
Cool.
Doesn't mean it can't be drank though.
So you all grab your drinks. Already set up your tab. Make your way outside of the mess hall tent. Where are you all heading? You splitting up? You staying together? What's the vibe? Where are we going?
I'm good sticking together.
Yeah.
Does
Especially if the
anyone?
place is so small.
Yeah. Does anyone in the mess hall tent give us like a weird look or anything?
Give me a perception or insight check. Your choice.
Oh wow. That is a Nat 20 for a total of 23.
Nice.
Boys. As you all start to exit the tent, Robbie, you take kind of like a last glance around. You don't really see anything that, no like shifting glances or like evil looks. You do catch, just as you're kind of leaving, just a small like, not in a creeping way, but like a small like crack of a smile on the bartender as you exit.
Like a smirk or like genuine happiness?
I'd say with that, it would not like a smirk. Definitely more of just like a, you know, good to see people, nice kids type of
Okay.
like, little like nod to himself as you all kind of exit out of his little like tavern area.
All right. I'll smile and I'll keep it to myself then.
All right, party, where you heading?
Oh.
Are there any tents that have like, how do I say this? Open tarps? Like, is anyone's tent like open?
Sure. Give me a general perception check as you kind of start wandering.
Ooh, nat 20.
Nice.
Yo, rolling them tonight.
Let's keep coming. Yeah, I mean, you've definitely passed a couple that are like the flaps don't seem to be like it's closed shut or barricaded anyway. So yeah, there's definitely open tents.
Any large ones? Anything that I see people coming in and out of?
Okay. As you path out, nothing in the way of large ones. So you do see a couple tents that you see like a couple of small groups of tieflings that are either exiting and kind of give you a nod and look like they're either heading towards the mess tent or somewhere further into the center of town. But nothing as big as the mess tent so far, like in like the general area.
Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we should head towards the center of the town.
I'm down.
I'm just following
Yeah,
you.
that works.
Onwards.
Words and tent words.
As you kind of make your way towards the center of town, again, you do see more people seem to be coming outside now. I guess again, word travels fast of new people in town that they've already been vetted. And the Delir, I think this probably you reading lips start picking up a lot of this. It's just they definitely went into at least some sort of hunker down mode when they saw a large group approaching the town. But now that it's kind of been assessed that you were escorting tieflings and you've already met with Ida, this town seems to be coming alive a little bit more. You see more people are walking about, going about their more normal days. You get a couple of curious glances, just again, more, wow, this weird group of elves is here. We should just, interesting type deal. But making your way towards the center of town, you do see kind of like a large open area where there seems to be, conversing, and different people are just kind of having open conversation. There are some that are trading. It seems like different goods. You see some that are large tapestries and blankets and clothing, trading with produce and other just. It seems like there's a lot of people here that just all contribute to the town and just trade off what they need.
TM, as I'm looking at, that they're more comfortable, knowing that we're helping out the tieflings. This isn't third. I know you mentioned that a lot of them only know living here.
Mhm.
Have any of them seen anybody else aside from tieflings? Like, are we like the first like elves they've seen? Or at least like the younger ones.
I would definitely say some of the children probably
Mhm.
haven't seen a lot. Like anyone who's older has been used to situations like this, like traveling tieflings, making the pilgrimage, being escorted by mercenaries or friends or people that help them along the way. So it's not uncommon to see, and specifically Elven is obviously really popular to be seen here because of how close Falfir is to the waste. It's a lot of Elven mercenaries when you get closer to the borders, so elves are pretty common. Seven
Okay.
gets some looks,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
but that happens in every city.
that's right.
Makes
You
sense.
agreed.
Um, it would be about this time as you're kind of taking in this central, like kind of like trading bazaar area. Um, Valir, yeah, Valir, you'd see him first. You see kind of cutting through the crowd, Tefet and Norman are kind of like starting to head your way, kind of
Mhm.
waving you down a little bit. As they would approach, Tefet would go over to say, Shori, goodness, thank God we found you all. It's that was a whole lot. You got we talked a little bit when you got out of there, but we just finished up with Ida and wanted to find you all. And honestly, we're just a little nervous, surrounded by a bunch of new folk. But seems like you're all doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of at a loss of like what to do and where to go. Did they give you guys any instructions, or was it just we gotta wait for the elders?
Yeah, I mean, Ada kind of just said that when the elders were ready, they would, after they finished talking to all three of us, because we all came in together, that they would send for us. But she didn't kind of give us a time frame on it. But sounded like maybe it's today.
Okay, well that's good to know. Say, if you don't mind me asking, what was your lineage?
Oh my God, yes, we got we did the thing, and she took some blood, and that hurt a little bit, but I did okay. Um, but when she took the blood, and she kind of like disappeared for a little bit, and then she came back, and she told me that the flame like kind of turned blue, and that's exciting. I think I don't know. I was excited for I didn't know blood could ignite on fire. That was already exciting. Um, but she told me something about like we came from a group, a family. She kept saying the word Bazor. Sounded official to me.
Bowser. Bowser?
No L. Bazor. Bazor.
Okay, Bazar. Bazar. Oh, that's the same for Norman?
Norman would step up. Yeah, no, it's apparently that's what our bloodline came from. So, yep, we both had the same lineage, which at least I guess proves that what we actually already knew that we were siblings, which I guess
Hmm.
helps. But yeah, it, same thing. She took my blood, came back, told me it burnt blue, and talked about this Bowser fellow.
Lucky she wasn't able to identify mine at all.
Huh. I mean, that certainly seems peculiar, but I'm sure I'm sure it happens. I mean, I don't want to speak for this place. I have been here for less than an hour, but he kind of leans into you. So, is this what you were expecting?
I was just about to ask you that.
Honestly, not at all. We were, the whole thing is surreal and not in like not in a bad way, but also not really in a good way.
I'm with you there.
Right.
I'm with you there. It's definitely yeah. No, not at all. What I had in mind. Not at all.
All right, all right. As long as we're all kind of on that same page, that's kind of what I was figuring. But I figured we did it, and we're gonna meet with these elders, I guess, sometime today, and maybe after that we'll I don't know, maybe we'll stay a couple days and figure out what we're gonna do from there. I don't know about y'all, but that's kind of where we've been at since we left the tent. Obviously, that could change with whatever these elders are gonna tell us, but I don't know if I see myself hanging around here, but at least give it a little time.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I'm staying here. But they definitely do have to change some things. Like this whole pilgrimage. Why? Why is it so unsafe? A lot of tieflings have died or, got sold into slavery. I just don't think I can leave here without talking to the elders about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something to bring to their attention if they're not already aware of it. But yeah, it doesn't quite sit right.
Would you mind backing me up whenever I do talk to them? If you agree with the sentiment.
Of course, y'all. I mean, if it wasn't for y'all, I'd probably be on my way to being sold into slavery. Yes. I try not to think about that too much, but yeah, no, it's I have no problem backing you up if that's the route you're gonna go.
Thank you. I feel like the more tieflings I have behind me, uh, the bigger message I'll send.
I get a sense it won't be hard to get the majority vote around here.
Yeah. It's a lot less tieflings than I thought too.
Yeah, it's I mean it's more than I've ever seen in one's place, but
Same.
that's not saying much, I guess. Actually, to
Daishori
about
just kind of puts her hands on her hips and just looks around like, okay, this is our motherland.
uh, yeah, it is. Huh.
But how are you feeling?
Well, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I mean, it's a lot. It's definitely an interesting place, and I'm glad we made the pilgrimage. And kind of leans into you. I haven't asked yet, but I don't think they have running water.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, even a bathhouse, like, I was really kind of, we've been in the desert for a long time. I was kind of hoping for like a fancy, like a spa.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's see if Babby lets us sleep in his mansion tonight again.
Oh my god, the mansion was so good. Like, yeah, you probably fit everybody here in the mansion.
No, no. You're not wrong, but that it hurts my heart a little bit.
Oh, all right. Nope, we're thinking positive. We're staying positive. I think we're gonna go get a drink. If it kind of sounds like there's alcohol in town, we haven't had a good drink since. I mean, we did have a drink in Babby's, but see what this place has to offer.
The
Um,
beer is good. Go try the beer.
okay, that's good. See, good. Hear that? No, yeah, I will always take a good beer. let's go get us a drink, and we'll see you, I guess, whenever these elders decide to get us for a conversation. I mean, I'm sure it won't be hard to. Nope, stop it, stop it. Keep going down that road. We'll see you in a little bit.
Yep. Stay positive.
Kind of gives you all a nod. And two of them wander off to
The
go get alcohol. Yes.
is the beer actually good, or did I BS them?
It was pretty good. You know,
Oh,
it was,
nice.
yeah, there's when you live out in a desert, it's not hard to, be creative and make it bearable. So making good alcohol is kind of on the top of that list.
Okay, I'll go over back to the group and I'll just let them know. Tefet and Norman just let me know that it sounds like we're gonna meet with the elders today. Don't know when today, but today. And that there's probably no running water here.
I didn't expect that. We're in the middle of the fucking desert.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 Didn't expect that. Get some magical water going out here. There are mages in this world for a reason. Maybe
Yep.
we need to start detecting magic immediately. And we need to find some other magic in this town right now.
Zaishuri, it might hurt a little bit, but I could throw a tidal wave at you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Do you have anything that generates water that's substantially less destructive than that?
I mean, I could shape water, put it into a barrel, stuff like that.
So you can shape existing water.
That's right, DM, right? I can like basically make a droplet into like a whole 5x5 cube.
For shape water, I believe so. You also have create water, don't you?
That's what I was
I
thinking.
I mean, I don't probably have it prepared for the day, so that's a level 1 spell, right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Create water. Create or destroy water. Oh. Man. Okay, this would only be 10 gallons anyway. But
But we had the jar thing, don't we?
the alchemy jug only creates like a gallon, I think, at max, or something
okay,
like that.
okay.
Okay, I have a suggestion. This is a wide open desert. Now, granted, they're probably going to move at some point, but why don't we use a combination of some of that, some earth moving, maybe some 7 action there, to dig out some space, and why don't we just kind of launch some water into it and get a little nice pond of something? What do you think? You think we could scrape that together?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think the tidal wave into a dugout cove would get us a reasonable pond? I'm not going to call it a lake. I'm not that audacious, but something.
Usually when I use tidal wave, it disappears very quickly, so I'm not sure. But tomorrow we definitely could probably do something along those lines. We want to try to build the hole tonight.
I definitely gotta ask, like, where do they even get water? Do they even have water? I mean, they have alcohol, but they have to have water. I'm questioning the infrastructure here.
What infrastructure? There are tents.
Zero.
There must be a minimum of 1 person in this community that can create water. We have 2.
Well, we can continue exploring these tents and figure that out.
Okay.
I think that'll be our best bet instead of trying to guess. I mean, they've been surviving. They had to have some sort of way to get water. I hope.
That conversation just about like how poor my people are.
Well, we're trying to. Right now we are logistics planners. So we're trying to figure out. You see, we've made the journey to this nation that may or may not be featured on a commercial with "In the Arms of the Angel" playing, and now we're trying to give him some water and a nice place to bathe. This is a classic D&D adventure right here.
Draconis,
Yes, sure.
did you know about this?
No. If I had known about this, I honestly probably wouldn't have told you.
Okay. Can you still sense where my tent is?
I mean, I still have a general feeling of which way to get back to Ida's.
Oh yeah, not my tent. Ida's tent.
So yeah, I mean, I can get us back in that direction. Though I think any of us could get us back in that direction.
Yeah, it's okay.
How are you doing, Sashori?
Well, my lineage is unknown. I came here to find out who I am, and I still don't know who I am. I mean, I know who I am, but I don't know where I came from. I don't know what's. I just like. I just wish I could know myself more. It sucks to come here and still kind of be at a loss. This place was supposed to have all the answers. So far, it's kind of been. I kind of just lean into him. A disappointment.
Yeah, I feel like this is the part where I'm supposed to say something cheesy like, it was the journey along the way that was the thing that. I don't have it in me. I'm just not gonna say. I can't actually say it.
It's okay. We can just face reality together.
Yeah, I mean, on the bright side, I got to be a horse.
Yeah, and you're still here.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
so
scared of you just randomly poofing.
I've done it once already, and I came back, which apparently doesn't happen. Who says it couldn't happen again?
Do you want to stay as a horse?
I don't know.
Like, what was your life before this? What did you do when you weren't like in my dreams? Like, is there a life you want to go back to?
I suppose that's the interesting part. I don't have much recollection of that.
Interesting.
I suppose in a sense that well, selfishly, I thought this pilgrimage might have been for both of us. That I was going to find something at the end of this that, like, I know I have a master. I know how to serve him, but I don't quite remember much before making connection with you all those years ago.
Interesting. Well, I'll have you next to me for as long as you want to be here.
might not always be next to you, but you know I'm not very far.
Yeah.
Kind of nuzzles into you a little bit.
I kind of give him a little pat. Don't lose hope. Maybe you'll also find something out. You'll learn something that made the whole trip worth it.
There's always a chance.
A chance, yeah. I won't say it'll happen, but there's a chance. Damn, what does this like town center look like?
I mean, it's kind of like an open air area where like there's not a whole lot of tents. It's kind of like has like a larger perimeter. And you see just kind of people coming about and trading goods and having conversations and um, kind of just a central hub, just a place that people can get together and converse and get things that they need to keep their lives going.
Okay. I kind of just turn back to the group and I just big heavy sigh. Big tiefling spiritual sigh.
Don't. Sorry. Well, oh wait, was that private between you guys?
I'm gonna say no because there was no mention of me moving away to talk to Draconis. So I'll say that everyone heard that.
Oh, okay. Don't be too sound, Shuri. And look, we're going to do whatever we can to help them, and I'm sure that once that Ada goes back there and looks into her history books, she's going to find somebody with that color of blood. We're going to find what lineage you're from, and the trip will have been well worth.
I'm definitely hoping so.
And hopefully a way to kill a demon. Maybe they can give us some information on that for a later reason.
Who knows, dude? Maybe my lineage comes with these unknown powers I don't know about yet. Hopefully, something cool.
There's the optimism.
It could be worse. These people might have not been here. Could be a lot worse.
That's true. What if we got here too late and the caravan had already moved on?
Yes, at least you still have a town, a city. I mean, did you see Vintev's hometown? Ugh.
You're right. At least the people here are alive.
Exactly. It could be a lot worse.
I'm just gonna look to Aquan for his reaction to that.
That place was scary.
He didn't seem to notice.
I'm gonna shrug it off.
Well then, should we make our rounds around this town? See what's around, who we meet?
Can I get another beer to go? Can we like walk like 3 tents back to the mess hall?
Go for it.
DM, I'm gonna go get myself another beer.
Easy enough to do.
I will sip it. That sure is not getting drunk.
Nursing the beer. Got it. Yeah, I mean, unless there's anything specific you're looking for, it does not take long to traverse the entire town. Probably less than an hour. You guys can see pretty much all the sites.
Actually, is there any kind of like religious site or church of some sort? Or yeah, like a library.
Give me an investigation or a persuasion check, depending on are you asking people around or are you just looking like kind of as you're going through town.
I'll ask people because I have no idea. These tents don't have signs, right?
They do not appear to have signs, no.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Hit. Wait, is that 3 in a row now? Total?
Yeah.
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 Crazy.
I'm playing the
Why
lottery.
wasn't this a combat session?
Why is there no Wheel of Fate for 20s in a row?
Oh, this would have been the trip 20. Oh man.
Because we only decided on sevens.
On sevens. Son of a bitch. We just hit some really crazy odds. It's gonna be a while. We're gonna get there, I believe.
Hell yeah.
Asking around Shore, you don't. There doesn't appear to be any dedicated religious tents or structures. It doesn't seem like religion is a strong part of their, their path. You'll talk to people who like either have previous religions or worship certain gods from the pantheon, but it's just like internal worship. There's no like church for it here.
Mhm.
As far as a library, yeah, there's a tent that has like educational materials. There, seem to obviously have to teach children and growing adults and gather their information and stories some way. So yeah, there's a place that you could get some books or read some books.
Hope this can somewhat interest you guys. This tent has books.
I can read.
What now?
Yeah, it has books. I just asked
Oh.
someone.
Okay. But are we going to be able to read those books?
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
No, I mean like literally any text that we have run into tieflings, we have not been able to read at all.
I think I will be fine. And
Yeah.
I am going to say so. Who's with me?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. Might as well get educated while
Wait,
we're
can-
here.
Can I hold on, I need to check. I think the spell might only be for me. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, the range is self. Okay, so I have the comprehend languages spell, but I cannot cast it on any. I'm so sorry. Or in character. Well, I'll be able to read books. The rest of you, well, Zaishori could certainly come with.
You could read them out loud to us. You could have story time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. Come on then. And I will walk us into the library of Zephyral.
Library's a stretch.
God damn it! I'm trying to be nice here, DM. Even God is like, I wouldn't call this a library. Exactly.
It is a collection of books. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, as you walk in, there's probably 200 maybe of just like varying like age levels, and you scan through a lot of it at first, and there's a handful of them that are in common, as you assume are either brought here and for trade or like brought here by people who are traveling or going abroad, and yeah, you've met people here speaking common, so it makes sense that it's a pretty universal thing. And you can see they're kind of like broken up into age groups to an extent. So kind of like the learning books for like the little kids, and then kind of get progressively older in content as you get to the back, and it's like, there's, towards the back is like sections of like kind of history books. You see there's some charts and maps of like the area and the history of the traveling caravan, and it seems to be like a lot of handwritten accounts of just this group of moving the caravan about, and like almost teaching, but not quite through the history of like what should be done and how to set up the camps and how to move the tents about and how to repair different things, how to avoid dust storms, what part of the wastes are good at different times of the year, when to hunker down closer to the mountain during the harsher winter months, and when to kind of use the heat from the summer months out here kind of in more of like the badlands essentially. But yeah, there's a couple of titles you could peruse if you're looking for anything specific.
Honestly, I'll start just looking at titles and anything that catches my eye, more so for the ones that are in Infernal or in a language I don't, that is affected by the comprehend language. So something I don't understand inherently.
Is there any book that looks like it's just like out the way or hidden in the back?
Sure. Give me investigation checks.
10.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
oh man. Those days.
This D&D Beyond thing
Is well, see, we say we like it, and then he's gonna have one of these streaks. Fucking have one of his monsters that wasn't supposed to be a real fight, like down 3 players. Like, sorry guys.
I've rolled 13 net 20s in a row. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's 27 on the investigation check. He rings Aishori's idea. Robbie will say, "That's better."
Cool. All right. So yeah, you take some time just kind of perusing the titles, and as I said, like there is smatterings of historical documents, some that appear to be, even for you, Ravi, books you've seen before that are translated into these languages. So it's like history texts of Falthair or Narfell, but translated into what you assume to be Infernal or
I see. So
another
just
language.
more very general world. Is this all general education stuff we're looking at here? So like stuff to be teaching the children of this community?
For the most part, you see a couple of again, some of the younger stuff is like fictional stories and like folklore and tales of different probably either not historical figures or historical figures. Like how like folklore is a lot of like, we're gonna take this
very
person who actually
loosely
exists,
adapted
yeah,
tales.
and just
Yeah.
jack them up a little bit, and like their accomplishments are slightly bigger than that they were. But I will say, as you're kind of looking about, Saishori and Seven, as the two of you kind of are like picking through some of the stuff towards the back end of this, stack of like long stacks of books, you find a book that seems like it's kind of tucked in, and you both kind of like reach for it almost at the same time. It's like tucked in behind a couple other books. You can't tell. It's hard to tell if this like got knocked behind or was like purposely hidden.
What's the title of it?
What we got?
actually look at it.
Oh, and by the way, I was just doing some well, we'll call it Ravi was doing some napkin math on the whole create water and then trying to build them a pond, and this would be many, many castings of create water.
Or Seven gets real lucky and just digs a hole.
Or the magical tidal wave has the water stay. I don't actually,
Yeah.
not 100% sure if that's how it works.
Pulling up. All right, so Shuri and Seven, as you pull out the book, you can see it's kind of worn cover. The pages look like they've been, read a few times. So you can see like definitely like creases and places where somebody who's either like earmarked or bookmarked different spots. But across the front, it just says the Iron Flame.
The Iron Flea?
Flame.
Flame.
Flame. Okay. Is that an infernal?
Yes, that one would be.
Well, I can't do
sure.
that.
Would you like to do the honors, or shall I have Vintes propose story time?
You did a spell, so you can comprehend it, right?
Yes.
I kind of hand Rory the book. Take it away.
Okay. I'll if there's, a general synopsis, obviously we're not going to be able to read this whole book out loud, but I'll try to find points of interest as like going through it. Anything that might, interest the group. But first just trying to figure out what it is, if it's another fable, if it's a history or something else.
So kind of like just give it a quick flip through and try to read some passages, like it to yourself, just to kind of get a gist of what's going on in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ravi, as you start flipping through it and just reading some passages out of it, this is smut.
Oh,
Oh,
God
Oh.
damn it. Ugh. You know what? I'm going to let Zaishori just see this one for herself, and I will hand that off to her before I drop the bombshell on the group.
okay. Everything all right?
Just take a look at take a look at this passage right here. In fact, I will hand the book to her.
Oh. Oh no! 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 No!
Let me just put it this way, gang. Even in the middle of the wastes, you cannot escape pornography in this world.
I mean,
I'm just gonna put this back.
Well,
yeah.
DM,
Right.
I don't believe they've explained what pornography is to Seven yet.
Mm.
What is
That's
this?
a new word.
Yeah, what is pornography? Very loudly.
Well, usually it refers to lewd display. Not so much text, but this is, let's just
display.
call it a book on romantic love,
Oh,
but not an educational one.
okay.
There you go, Seven.
So Shuri,
Well-
as you go and tuck that one back,
Yeah.
Immediately.
So it was hidden.
It was
must-
hidden for a reason.
It
Someone
deserves
did
to be
not want-
hidden.
Is it a
Someone
valuable
did not
book?
want others knowing what they were reading.
Oh,
uh, as they put it back, Ravi, as you kind of turn from the group for a minute, your eye catches the spine of another book on the shelf, and it stands out to you as the trim on it is kind of golden leafed, and it, for all intents and purposes, compared to the rest of the books that seem to be a lot of function, this one has a lot of flair to it, and it
I see.
kind of just sticks out to you on the shelf.
This one, on the other hand, seems particularly fancy, I guess, amongst the crowd, and I'll take it and take a look at the cover. Infernal or not, and
There is no title.
interesting.
What you held in your hand is a kind of red leather-bound book with gold leaf across kind of the spine and wraps around to this nice, like, almost flame filigree on the front.
Interesting.
Ah, look, mysterious. No title. That means they really want you to know what's inside. So let's oblige them, and I will flip it over.
It says Iron Flame Collector's Edition. No, I'm just kidding.
That would have been pretty good. Even out
As you-
here, you can't escape collectors either. Everyone wants to collect something.
But as you flip open the first page, you don't. The words are infernal, and it is a. How to put this? It is a book of what you can only classify as like a history of lineages. It essentially is a breakdown of what appear to be, whether it's noble houses. Like, it reads as if you were like reading like, oh, the noble houses of a kingdom, or place of high nobility, and kind of gives brief summaries of some of like the most historic members and other tidbits of like location, how the families came to be, in a sense, things along that nature.
Does it happen to say, for each family, what color their blood burns? After the conversation with Zaishori, I'd be like, well, maybe that's a common thing in tiefling, in the tiefling world. So I'll see if that's listed in the historical record.
Flipping through, it's an interesting place where it doesn't necessarily talk about the blood burning, but it does talk about almost like a color of aura, or like a presence to their blood, or to their lineage, to that like particular house, I guess you would call it.
Any pink ones?
Yeah. Well, I was just looking at the first. I assume I didn't get lucky enough to flip to the to the page with
Correct,
that exact
except
tone. Yes, but I will say, Zaishori, they refer to, take a look. They refer to family colors in this. Maybe that's the magic associated with the blood burning they're doing. How about we take a look in the time we have and flip through and see if we can find one that sounds like the color you saw for yourself.
I take a really big deep breath. Like, I'm gonna try my best to not snatch it from you. I'm just gonna put it in my hands.
I mean, if I can see that you're like chomping at the bit, I will hand you the book. Like, this is tiefling history. You can take lead on this one. Huh?
DM, I'll
So
start
yes, I will
flipping.
hand over the book.
All right. So yeah, if you're just scanning it for specifically that information, you do not find any of the houses mentioned or a pink aura. You notice the colors that stand out to you just through kind of taking some time flipping through the different sections: red, purple, yellow, green, and blue.
So those are like the 5 noble tiefling houses. Is the deal we're getting at here?
That seems to be the case. Yes.
Okay. Any locations of note of those 5? In terms of like origin stuff?
Yes.
And I'm listening. I'm just gonna grab it. Great.
There are different origin locations. I would like anybody who would like to make a history check.
Oh yeah.
Either.
I like making checks. I like clicking buttons.
Oh.
Click, 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 click.
17.
17.
You said invest. Oh no, history.
History.
14.
20.
14.
So, as you're flipping through and you're looking, finding now like different like locations, things that are like names that are sticking out to you, places. At first read, as you start spouting out names, Seven and Vinteth.
Yeah.
You have moments of recognition, like you hear words, you hear the name of the places that Robbie's kind of like reading out loud, and they're nowhere you've been before. They're not places you've seen on maps, but like there's this moment, there's like clicking of like the word sounds familiar, whether it's like the root of it or some combination of the sounds are just like kind of like an earworm. Like you're hearing it, like God, I know that from somewhere, but I'm not placing it.
Say that again?
Robbie.
Say that again, Robbie?
Like-
What was that?
Yeah. I'll drop all the words in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
But Robbie, as you're reading through them, the thing that jumps out to you, you kind of have that same feeling of like I understand the words, and you're at points you're like, am I mistranslating it? But then you're like, how can I mistranslate it through the spell? The spell gives me like essentially the pronunciations in your head
Yeah.
as you're using the magic.
But it could be something more literal, right? Versus maybe some
Yeah.
symbolic.
It can be, but I think the other thing that is that you from school, from the history and teachings of Falthair and being in the military, part of it is being pretty versed on locations, places, like the surrounding areas. You know with certainty none of these are current locations. Like these do not exist in the world.
So all towns or cities that were basically wiped out at some point. Or renamed, taken over, whatever. Yeah.
And then to a point where it's like these aren't in the history books, like you didn't learn them, or maybe you saw them somewhere at a glance and just kind of like, and blah blah blah. Civilization fell and was like built over by Crowhaven or something along.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'll give the information I have to the group, and then for whichever the couple are that I don't know, just like, yeah, no, never heard of these, but it seems as if these royal houses, at least a few of them had roots in familiar spots, or spots that were, familiar to us now, and apparently once were the home of some amount of tieflings.
Didn't do any of the places trigger anything in Seven's memory at all?
Nothing past that vague recognition.
Okay.
Um, the Shrey just kind of thinks to herself, like, damn, I forgot who told me or where I read it. But tieflings used to roam everywhere, right?
That came from Trefarel.
Hmm. Oh, that's right. He did tell us that.
The Blue Man.
So I'm not too shocked to hear the information, but it's interesting to hear where I guess the stronghold used to be at, the cities. Is there anything in the book about like what happened? Like what was the downfall of like the whole like honestly the species?
It doesn't appear to go into that much depth. The unfortunate part of it is, it doesn't seem like there's no dates in this book per se. Like, it's not dated to a point of like this happened during year 400, PS or things of that nature. So it's hard to tell when the book was written for and how it's like what period it stopped at is the issue. So it doesn't really go into like the fall of any of the civilizations or the houses.
Okay.
And then for anyone interested, I posted the names and the auras that go with them into chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Perfect. Because, yeah.
Can you
Could be
just say
certainly
them
could be
out
wrong.
loud real quick?
Sure.
Sorry, go on.
Igdroth,
Okay.
Sur Zarog,
Mm-hmm.
Vizaran, Agnath, Bazor.
Thank you.
No problem.
Only one. Only one. It was the apostrophe.
It's true.
He showed you've shown great restraint.
They all have a chica over the E, though.
Let's see.
All right. Is there anything else you want to do?
I don't think so. I think whatever I would want to know, I have to wait to talk to the elders to find out.
Now, the important question. What do you do with the book?
Well, it's a library, so I'm gonna check it out and put it in my bag of holding. I'll put it back at some point.
All right. So you grab the book. As you start to walk outside, Draconis, who was not going to enter the library because who wants to see a horse in the library? That just seems like a terrible thing to do. Especially a flaming horse. That would just be awful.
Fair.
But as you kind of walk out, he kind of goes, "Oh, something's happening. Something.
What? What do you mean?
Well, I'm being. It moved.
Hmm.
It was being drawn there, and now it's over there.
Okay.
Was there, now over here.
Maybe it's time.
You think they would just send somebody? Like, this is. Seems extra, right? It's like,
I mean, we're probably like 7/10 down. They could really just send someone over.
yeah, made an announcement. Like, just yell it. Like, hey,
We'll
it's
hear
time.
it.
Fuck's sake. All right, I'm gonna start walking that way. I guess it's okay. Yep, follow me.
Okay. Kind of just turn to everyone. Draconis feels a new location. It might be time to talk to the elders.
Sure.
Well, I'm ready as I'm ever going to be.
Or maybe it's Ida.
To make your way through town a little bit past where Ida's tent was is where Draconis is being drawn at the moment. You get to a tent that is not quite as large as Ida's tent seemed to be, but not one of the smaller tents in town. As you approach, you can see Tefet and Norman have made it here slightly before you, as they came from the closer by mess tent. They kind of just like look at you, give you a nod. It's like, well, I guess this is it's time for us to do whatever it is that they have for us, I suppose.
Yep. Yep. Did someone come get you guys?
Yeah, they sent someone over to the mess tent and told us to come on this way.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, I guess whatever we're gonna learn is gonna be through this flap. Is it gonna fit all of us?
Actually, just kind of hopes, thinking to herself in her head, and letting Draconis know. I really hope there's some magical thing at play, and it's gonna be beautiful. Still holding out hope.
The worst part is, it could disappoint us again, but the best part is, it could surprise us.
Yes.
So, one more time into the breach, I suppose. Sashori, will you lead the way?
I will have Draconis lead the way. He's going in.
All right. Trot. Enters through the front flap of the tent. It's safe. Cool tapestry. Do you all enter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send Draconis back out.
Backs up inwards. As you enter the tent, you are greeted by about 10 or so feet ahead of you, stretching 15 to 20 feet tall and about as wide, this large tapestry woven into and hanging from the ceiling of the tent. In it depicts a large, beautifully hand-spun picture of 5 individuals, 5 beings standing at attention, almost as if it was done portrait style. Like they were basically it was woven in a portrait. You see a large hulking figure, red-skinned, horns draping off the side of his head, with a barrel chest and wings flapping off kind of into the distance. You see next to him a smaller, almost tiefling looking individual with beautiful fair skin, kind of palish green in tone, with sickly yellow eyes. To her right, you see another figure. Seems to be, the best you can describe it, slightly taller, lankier humanoid, wearing rustic chainmail, but the chains continue onward from his torso all the way down his arms, climbing up his neck and down his legs. From every piece you can see, just rapid chains and overlapping of metal and spiky bits and pieces all coming to a point. Next to him, you see another figure, slightly bulkier in build, wearing a full iron mask with kind of gold inlay and leaflet to it, a flowing red cape off of her back, and full armored chest plate. Off to the far right, you can see a figure cloaked in shadow, basically pitch black, with you can see just bits and pieces of a humanoid form kind of just poking through, almost as if you were seeing the silhouette of somebody hiding in the dark. The only piece that you can see the only bit of color, a pair of piercing red eyes that dot and show you where the figure starts. This moment, Saishori, as you take in the tapestry, can you give me a wisdom saving throw?
The fuck?
Oh shit.
15.
As you stare at the tapestry before you and take in the fine craftsmanship and these individuals, something about it is awe-inspiring to a point that even without commanding it, you feel your legs start to pull you forward. Not in a dangerous way, but just out of pure curiosity.
Okay.
You all watch as Saishori starts to step forward.
Is Tefet and Norman here too, and they're having the same reaction?
They are here and they are having the same reaction.
Can I tell? Do I notice anything off on the way she's just walking forwards?
Give me a insight check. nothing seems off about. Like, I mean, off in the sense that she has kind of that like look of like someone who's seeing a beautiful piece of art or something like awe-inspiring, which it is in its presentation. Nothing seems off though about her like actual movements of just starting to step forward towards this thing.
Okay.
It's about that point you hear a voice kind of echo through the small the small enclosement of this tent. Descendants of Zepharel and allies who wish to move beyond this point, we welcome you. You've traveled long. You've endured many hardships. We invite you to sit counsel with us, elders of Zepharel. We do not force this upon any of you. You are not obligated to stay. You are not obligated to move beyond this point. Our home is yours to stay as you wish for as long as you need. And when you choose to leave, it is your choice. But have it known, to move beyond this point, you will see and hear things that should not be taken lightly. Any information gained from beyond this point can and will cause further hardship and potential danger. Do not make this decision lightly. But for those of you that are curious, for those of you who want to learn just a bit more, we invite you to meet with the elders of Safe. You need just touch the tapestry and step forward.
Well, after that spiel, I think I'm going in.
I'm gonna touch
Do I
the
see
wood.
Norman and Tefet going in? I mean, sure he's gonna touch it, but I just want to see.
You see Norman is hesitant at first, but he looks over to Tefet, and she is already reaching to move forward. She kind of looks up at him with a smile and kind of looks over to you and just kind of, with one hand, she's reaching towards the tapestry. With her other, she reaches out to kind of like squeeze your hand next to her. And she kind of just gives you a smile. We've got this. We'll be okay. And with that, she, going into this, is going to give you and Norman a bardic inspiration. Because she don't know what the fuck's happening.
Fair.
Just mark down that you have 1d6 that you can add to a d20 roll of your choice. With that resolve, her and Norman will reach forward and touch the tapestry, and you watch as they do. The tapestry starts to split slightly and does appear to be like almost half a curtain, and they kind of push through.
I kind of just turned back to the group. And before I touch the tapestry, I kind of reach out to the Konas to come in.
I'm certainly not missing this after that. Fuck that noise. So Draconis will push in behind all of you.
Are you guys coming?
Well,
No.
I'll be following you, Zaishori, but I can't turn down a bit of, hidden knowledge.
I knew you wouldn't be able to.
Listen, we made it all the way here. Might as well just see this through.
Even if it puts us in further danger.
We've been through worse.
Okay. I kind of beckon Draconis next to me, and we both touch tapestry at the same time.
As you and Draconis touch the tapestry, you watch as it again kind of unfurls a little bit in the middle, allowing you passage through.
Well, is everybody coming, or is anyone staying behind?
Going.
No pressure, but I'll begin.
Bucket.
Oh, fuck. We probably should have told Babby and the others something.
Oh, shit.
It'll be okay.
Too late now. We're through the curtain, baby.
Yeah, I have touched the curtain.
I would like everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Gosh.
Oh man, I thought you were about to say roll initiative.
Yeah, I was like, what?
No, I'm gonna fucking murder these elders. Like, how dare they?
23.
One sec. Con saving.
Yes, you are all within 10 feet of Saishori, so add
Bro.
Hey.
Are you
Bro,
fourth
D&D
nat 20?
Beyond. Yes.
Jesus.
D&D Beyond today, my goodness.
So 10 plus what? D6.
No, it's plus 4 for
Alright.
Saishori's aura.
So 14.
22.
23.
As you step through the curtain, you all feel yourself lunged, transported, pulled apart, and reassembled as the wicked heat and temperature rises quickly. You find yourself, again, you step for about a moment, but in that moment, your bodies move through massive pressures and change as you kind of catch yourself almost as if you were like running too fast and skid to a halt, even though you've only taken a step or two as your bodies acclimate to the new environment you find yourself in. You see in front of you a large set of stained glass mirrors chamber. You see a black obsidian floor with large black obsidian pillars holding up a large arching ceiling. Ahead of you, you see 5 large thrones, all of which seem to have someone seated.
Oh shit.
Wait, what sort of? You said this is a large room too? How, like,
Correct.
roughly how big? I don't need like dimensions, but like what are we talking about? Like straight up like throne room, like as we would envision. Like this is a massive building.
Pretty
of some kind?
much. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's obsidian.
Yes. You can feel, again, the intense heat just kind of radiating from the floor and walls. Everything is black and obsidian. The pillars are large and kind of jagged but roughly carved. But yeah. You see in those, as you take a moment to gather yourself, in these like large stained glass windows, you can see what appears to be familiar, at least from the last few moments, effigies or paint, like the stained glass versions of those 5 figures you saw in the tapestry that you led into the
Gonna whisper to Sir, is this more of what you pictured?
No. I mean, a little bit, but no. It feels like we're in hell.
Close, well, hell adjacent, honestly.
Hell adjacent.
You hear one of the voices ring out from one of these large thrones. Please come in, come in. You have to have plenty of questions, and we have hopefully some of those answers. But for now, we welcome you all to Zephyral.
Is this Zephyral in here? Like, there's some other place outside of here?
They are both Zephyral. They are both important for our protection and our civilization. But yes, thank you and welcome to welcome to the council chambers. This is where the elders meet and greet all of those who have braved the dangers and elements to make it here. We appreciate your patience as we prepared ourselves for this conversation. So please, again, come in, please, please. Don't stand there.
I'll start moving forward
Yeah, walking in.
slowly, waiting for people.
Yeah, I'm moving with Draconis.
The group.
As you move forward, you can see now. Five tieflings sit upon these large thrones. The first one that has been speaking most loud kind of steps off of her step a little bit. You see a dark red skinned tiefling, hair and horns kind of pulled back and swooping behind her. She wears a black dress with gold trim. Again, welcome all. I am Yuki Danzig. I am one of the 5 elders of Zephyral. We thank you all again for coming. Please come in, introduce yourselves. We are familiar, at least, with some of you, but we'd love to greet and honor all of you for making the harsh journey and taking the time to speak with us.
Well, introduce myself. I am 7 even. Then that's it.
Man, a few words as always. I am Raviel Dawnshot, friend to Zaishori. Happy as well that we made it here with her.
Volier Bortlock, and I, of course, hit my gong.
As you do, it rings out in this open chamber and echoes throughout the halls.
So we have to wait for the echo to dissipate before the next person goes.
Just a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. I'm standing there looking annoyed.
I kind of just put my fingers on my forehead and look down a little.
Looking from where to the elders in Teth.
Norman and Tefet Brink. See, Tefet curtsies a little bit.
Zaishuri. I guess I'll do a little bow.
Dakota's kind of like in your head. She's like, do I introduce myself? I'm a horse.
You're a person.
Draconis, I'm the guide. You hear and see from one of the other thrones a kind of larger built tiefling with like icy blue skin and tail that kind of like turns into like almost a crescent moon at the end, clad in like green and blue like studded armor with like large spiked pauldrons, stands up and kind of clears his throat. Glad you all made it. Rexus Unger. Pleasure to meet you all. Don't worry, I'll put all the names in chat.
But
Yes. Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Kind of snickering from one of the other thrones, you hear another voice kind of ring out. Yes, they've made it. It took them long enough, but you hear Rexus kind of like snarl and snap. Maverick, show a little bit of respect. Stand the fuck up. You see a kind of lankier build, yellow-skinned tiefling with peering red eyes pulls a cloak off from the top of their head as they stand up from laying kind of over the sides of their throne. Maverick Greytide. It's a pleasure.
Daishur is very apprehensive of. What's his name? Mavrin?
Maverick.
Mavrin.
Of course, he's yellow. Actually, I don't know if that slang applies.
Is that supposed to
Like a coward.
be?
Because the guy who says, "Oh, it took them long enough," is the coward who has never actually been out there, for sure.
yeah, for sure.
You hear kind of a giggle as one of the thrones. You almost didn't see them. You see very small, like shorter in stature, kind of like almost was swallowed by how big the thrones are in comparison. But you hear kind of a girlish giggle. Avern got yelled at. Leola Brimstone. It's a pleasure to meet you all. You see
Brimstone.
a shorter, purple-skinned tiefling with kind of like two horns that are just poking out of the front of her head, wearing
Oh my God, is there a child on the Elder Council? Sorry, go on.
No, she's wearing kind of like a black and bubblegum pink dress that furls at the bottom. Finally, as you kind of scanning the room, was not sitting in their throne, but kind of appearing from behind it. You see a hunched at the back, cane in one hand. You kind of hear like the first thing you hear about their presence is the clacking of the tip of the cane against the obsidian floor. Now, everyone. They've come a long way, and it's only right that we treat them all with respect and honor. My name is Callus. It is a pleasure to meet you all. You see, kind of as like almost like a friar hood, just poking out the tips of a kind of light green skinned tiefling. Very unassuming in his wares. He walks with a cane. You can tell just from the sight of him, a little bit older in years. Just gonna drink this real quick. names and colors.
Nice.
Thank you.
As the five elders have introduced themselves and you to they, you find yourselves here in the throne room of Zay. Yuki would step forward and continue to speak. Well, I'm sure you all have plenty of questions. I suppose a little bit of I never know where to start these. You'd think I've been doing them long enough, I would know what people want to hear, but
Sorry, I had to run back here for this comment as Robbie. Well, don't worry about that. It's probably been quite a while since you've done one of these.
Love it. We're coming in hard.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
After that one guy and his remark, I was gonna be respectful, but now.
Bump that
Nope.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
well, where to begin? Well, so you've all met with, at least the three of you have met with Ida, and she has passed along to us at least parts of the information about where you've come from and how far you've come, and the colors of your aura and the houses that your lineage hails from. I suppose the question is, to start, how much do you know about our people? How much do you know about Tiefling lineage? Where we come from, how we got here, oh gosh, there's so much to talk about.
Just assume we don't know anything.
Right. Well, for starters, yes, we are people that descend from direct blood ties and deals making with powerful entities of hell. Over the course of our history, there have been several strong enough and capable to make said. Do I want to say this? You see, she kind of like blissfully like drifts off into thought. You will hear kind of just again another kind of just snorting and just. Gods, why can't we ever just tell people exactly what it is? 5 demon lords, 5 devils that rule the hells. Every devil that ever was descends from one of them. Every tiefling that ever was comes from one of them as well. I was getting there. God, you have no flair for the dramatic. They don't want to hear the boring stuff. Just tell them everything.
Yeah. It's been a very long, very perilous journey. You can give it to us straight.
So the five lords. Igdroth the Fearmonger, Storgzog the Sorrow Lord, Vizarog, Mistress of Pain, Adneth the Vile, Bazza the Bitter End. Five devil lords that have reigned over the hells for as long as our people has been alive. All devils are descendants of them, and any devil that has made a deal with human or, well, humanoid, I suppose, has a chance to find its way into that lineage and therefore create tieflings. And then, of course, once tieflings were born, it was able to pass down from bloodline to bloodline. Yada, yada, yada. This is the stuff that most people know. Maybe not the names, but we try to keep those pretty tight in-house.
I'll just kind of nod towards Chivalry, like, yep, that's the familiar stuff.
Yep.
So, we know the two of you, and they kind of look towards Tefet and Norman. Descendants of Baza. From the house, the aspects of anger. You both said you were bloodborne, yes? You see one of them. Yes. Our mother was a tiefling, and before she passed, she gave us bits and pieces that she could before she was no longer with us, and helped send us on our way. Yes. So much. Oh. You, on the other hand, are not sure what to make of you. Say, look at Sideshore. You know nothing of your origin. You know nothing of where you became. You don't have recollection of parents or anything before an orphanage. Your blood burns in a color that we have not seen in historical records ever.
No, I don't know anything. I was left at a doorstep as an orphan in Crowhaven.
It is certainly unheard of in my time here. You see, as the green tiefling kind of steps forward again. No, no new demon lord has no new lord has risen in the last several centuries. All the ones have been accounted for. You are indeed a peculiar case. She's special.
I'm guessing Ida found nothing.
Ida's past her prime and is a freaking wingnut. Who knows what she does or doesn't know?
Said that. One of them
Who do you-
said that.
The yellow.
Okay.
Of course.
Oh my gosh. I shoot straight daggers at him. Not literally, but I'm shooting daggers at him.
With the eyes, she clarifies, forgetting like, wait, this is D&D.
Well, they are 60 feet away. It would be a disadvantage, but you know.
So, what does that mean for our friend? You've never seen someone whose blood doesn't match your record. We came here to find out that information for her.
Again, it is certainly a peculiar thing. Just because it's never happened doesn't mean it couldn't happen.
How do you know when there's a new demon lord arising?
I mean, from what we know, and again, it hasn't happened for most of our lifetimes, at least. For a new demon lord to be strong enough that he, or they, sorry, don't want to leave anybody out, that they could gain a follower in a bloodline that can pierce the human realm, the main material plane, and make a deal without our knowledge is they would have to have punched a hole somewhere. Portal.
A hoe. From the hells to here.
You watch as Leola, the smaller purple one's like, they would have had to have made their own portal. This is ours. They didn't come through here. We would know. We guard the portal to hell.
I kind of just. Actually, you know what? No, I will keep my thoughts quiet too, just in case. But I'm sure he's freaking out on the inside just a little bit. He's like, holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck. Does this have to do with your grandfather?
I actually had a different thought, and if I look at you, I want you to lead, but if I look at you and you're staying quiet, then I'm gonna look back to the elders. And is there a particular look that a newly ascended demon lord might have? Say, and I'm going to the best of my ability, describe the way that Zane looked following his emergence. Since I didn't get, like, we know he's big and tall and the fire, but, like, the more specific details as best I can.
Give me a straight intelligence check. Just your ability to recall and describe the day, the what you saw.
Sure.
Sounds a bit more demonic in nature, but anything's possible.
Can a tiefling rise to be a demon lord? They sure just kind of has Sephiroth also in her head.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but no, not that I'm. No, it certainly can't be possible. You'd have to. Again, it's hard to gauge what is impossible when the impossible is sitting in front of you. The simple act of your existence and the fact that you are not something we've seen before makes you something that should not be. So therefore, can we really rule out anything, even if it sounds preposterous? Interesting. It's about this time you hear a cackle of laughter. Throughout the chamber, the laughter rings out. It's coming from behind you in this large chamber that you're in. As you turn to greet it, you watch as the steed form of Draconis starts to fade away. His front hooves start to stand tall, and his lower hooves turn to more cloven and satyr-like, as opposed to horse. You watch as the visage of Horse Draconis shrinks into a red-skinned, devilish figure with horns kind of draping back. He wears a fine blackened suit, and a pair of large leathery wings flap off. Oh! Oh, that's so much better. Oh, you children sit here and speak of things you don't know. You talk about the aspects of fear and sorrow and pain and disgust and anger, the 5 great houses. Oh no, no, no.
Fuck.
What you see before you is not something new, something that hasn't been seen before. What you see before you is something that came before.
Oh, okay.
6 aspects of hell, 6 domains, the 6 lords that ruled. Snarl from Rexus. Your guide needs to learn his place. No, we won't be talking to her like that.
Wait, I feel special.
I, Zacchaeus Fleridan Draconis Infernae, speaker of doubt, the creeping word, the final thought. Sit before you, the only, the last, hopefully not the last, descendant of Zelemond, the aspect of doubt. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
God damn it.
Oh shit. Huh?
What the fuck?
That's your dead.
It's her great grandfather.
Okay, well, I'm happy it's this, and I'm not getting exposed for making a deal with the grandfather.
Oh my god. He thought they were just gonna know.
When they started talking about portals and stuff, I'm like, oh wait, hold on. This man has taken me elsewhere before.
Uh-huh. Interesting. So, holy shit, man, she really is like Tiefling Jesus.
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
Sure crazy.
No, I'm sorry. No, as much as I like the Tiefling Jesus joke, this is becoming even more, in some ways, even more Dune, which I appreciate.
Damn, what was his name again? What do they call him?
You're saying Draconis' full name?
No, from the guy from Dune. What do they call him again?
Only remaining descendant of, what did you say, Salamont? Did I hear that right?
Both are in chat.
Thank you.
Draconis' full name and the sixth aspect.
Holy fuck.
Salamont.
Is that Draconis' boss?
That would be Draconis's, like, I mean, not necessarily direct father, because we know, like, tieflings can be born by blood. So theoretically, Draconis could be like the great 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 grandson of Zalemon.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask him.
Yeah, because he's always talked about his boss, his boss, his boss. Or he's his own boss.
Crazy.
Which also means that you and Draconis are related.
That's crazy.
Well, I don't know how that works with tieflings. Do they consider themselves related in that way? TM? Is that a thing?
Not usually. Like Tefet and Norman are direct related, as they came from the same mother and father. Being part of a bloodline gets a little because, like, the idea of it is that the five great lords spawned all lesser demons under them, and those devils also carry the bloodline essentially. And then those
so
are the
those
devils
lessers could make it
then
too,
make
the deals.
Correct.
I see.
So that's why it's like, yeah, you're classified into one of these houses essentially, but it doesn't mean you necessarily have direct descendancy to one of the lords themselves.
Makes sense.
Damn.
But hey, welcome to actual Zephyr.
Hey.
Yep. I fucking knew it. There had to be something.
You think I was gonna make you come all the way here for nothing, did you?
Yes.
I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be nothing. I thought this was gonna be hey, you thought Zephyr was gonna save you. Turns out you have to save Zephyr, huh?
Yeah. Still not
Which I guess
far off.
theoretically, I was gonna say, that might still be how it goes down with these fucking incompetent elders behind the chairs.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm making broad generalizations based on Mavra, and that guy Rexus seems cool. But he's still sitting here in this room while a bunch of tieflings die. So, you know.
Yep.
I think I saw the light bulb in Rose's head at least when one of the names was spoken.
Oh, the Brimstones. I heard it before,
Where was
but I
that
don't have
from?
my notes in front of me.
Elvira.
Elvira
because
Brimstone?
that's right. That is Elvira's direct. That would be a direct sibling with the same last name we're talking about, or relation.
At least the same, within a bloodline, cousins, direct family member.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So there are 6. Wait, so I'm sorry, Roche, you said deep. They're called Devil Lords.
They are technically just called lords. They are devils.
Demon lords?
No, because demons are different. Because I specifically asked about Zane, and they described him as more demonic. I always
demons are from the abyss. Devils are hell.
Yep.
Okay, so they're just lords.
They are considered lords of hell.
Lords of hell. Okay, let me change that here.
But that was me Freudian slipping because I'm so used to D&D terminology. It's Demon Lord.
Demon Lord, I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Archdevils is what rules the hells in the D&D universe. Not in my universe.
Damn.
So
I got scared when Draconis turned back into himself. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
you and me both.
Is Draconis handsome? I must know.
I mean, he
Yeah.
is technically a Cambion for reference.
Cambion?
Looks like a Cambion.
What's a Cambion?
It's a creature type.
Okay, I need to Google this.
Cambion images. Oh. Huh.
It's almost like what you would expect just what a devil is.
I see. So they're like tiefling a Jace?
I mean, in the sense that they are pure-blooded devils.
Ah, I see.
Ooh.
So they the OG tieflings.
Mm.
The racially pure tieflings.
Yep. That's
Oh.
what I was about to
Uh,
say.
I wasn't going there, but you know.
That's a
Oh,
controversial
man.
way of saying it.
He's the pure one.
Brad, for your reference, rule of 3 is also a Cambion.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yep.
Do they always have red wings?
For the most part, they don't change color as much as like a tiefling would.
Noted.
Crazy.
Holy moly.
But yeah, we will.
Yeah, well,
pick up
it gives us
that
some
conversation next
time to talk about what we're gonna do with the elders next time.
Yeah, I need time to process.
Yeah.
Oh, woo.
And we still gotta tell them about the whole demon threat.
Oh yeah, freaking Zane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're whipping the yellow one for sure before we leave.
He's
Oh,
gonna get a
yeah.
stern talking to.
Put
Guys,
the
this-
boots to him medium style.
bro, watch him be the strongest one out of all of them too.
Don't give him any ideas.
Look,
I already know how strong each of them is.
can they
Clearly,
be?
the child's the strongest.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
How else do you get to that position?
True.
As a kid, right? Yeah, it's true. This is the well, you could also say that just the prior person died and there was nobody better. I'm hoping it's not that one.